Guess what, everybody? It is Sunday, the 5th of September. Car show day today, Oxley Road, Peterborough, TC Harrison main dealership. I've got Tyler here, my cameraman.
Hello.
He'll probably piss off and leave me when we get there. But let's see if we can go and see some fabulous classic cars. Are you ready? Let's go then. By the way, just before we get there, just a few snacks. Look at this lot! Alright guys, we are here. TC Harrison, Oxley Road, Peterborough. There's loads of people here. Oh my god. Do you know, I've not been to this dealership in absolute years. Anyway, enough of the talking. Let's have a little look around. Wow, Ford Mustang. This is your cup of tea, is it, Tyler?
Yes, it is. I prefer Dodge SRT Hellcat though.
By the way, you probably know Tyler. That's his girlfriend Natalie. Do you want to say hello, Natalie?
Hi.
You're going on YouTube.
Look at this, 5 litre.
Oh, look at the black and yellow one.
5 litre V8.
Black and yellow one.
In fact, oh my god, we've got a whole row of them. Tyler, just pick which one you want, mate. Wow, these are nice. These are nice if you can afford the petrol. Look at that. Bluebell. We've got some flashing LEDs there on the bonnet. Now this, I believe, is one of the original Ford Mustangs. C-Reg. 460s. Look at that. Absolutely fabulous.
Welcome. I bought ice cream.
Hello. You want to be on YouTube, man?
Yes. How you doing, Alan? You all right?
Yeah, thank you for this show.
That's all right. You're welcome. Good to see you.
By the way, this is Kevin.
Hi, YouTube.
I hope you're in focus because the sun's so bright.
I won't be in focus with this high vis on, will I? So
This is the man. This is the guy who's put this show on. He's brought all these people together because you're right into your custom cars and.
I'm into my classic Fords. Very much into my classic Fords. Yeah. So and it's not just me that's put it on. I do have to say, there's a big team of people that put this on today. I'm just a small cog in a big wheel, so it's been really good.
Brilliant. Is any of these cars here your particular favourite?
Yes, I have got my favourites. Actually, I'm been a bit greedy. I've got a little area down the side here where all my friends' cars are parked, and I've got some favourites there, and there's some stories behind why they're my favourites. So I'll be happy to show you a bit later if you want to have a look.
We sure will. We'll be making our way down there shortly. There's a whole line of cars outside the main showroom, starting with this Focus ST Turbo in this lovely goldy orangey colour.
God damn it.
Even under the bonnet, look at that.
Come on up.
Comes with a little dinosaur as well.
Imagine if they left
Oh
him.
my god.
You just called it a dinosaur. Right.
Dad, do you just call Charmander a dinosaur?
No,
Charmander,
Yeah.
look at your lips.
he's a Pokemon.
Yeah,
You've got ice cream in your moustache.
Wow. Now here is a car I remember very well. Mark 1 Ford Capri. And this particular one here has got the V6 engine in it. And it looks pretty standard. Absolutely lovely though, look at that paint job. I do believe we have the owner here of this beautiful Capri. Hello there. Can you tell us a little bit about your car?
Yeah.
How long you've had it?
I've owned it for 26 years. I bought it in 1994. It's imported from northern France. It's actually a 2.6 GT, which I rebuilt as a pre-production lightweight replica of the RS 2600. Because they only did 50 before they started production, lightweight spec ones, and that was for motorsport homologation.
Wow. 26 years.
26 years, yeah. About 9 years of that was stripping it down to a shell and rebuilding it to this spec. It's mostly been rebuilding it to that spec, so it's taking things off of it because the lightweights had very little interior, hence no carpets, fixed back bucket seats, no heater even, no wind down windows, so you've got the sliding perspex side glass. Exterior wise, they took the bumpers off. They even went to the extent of putting less paint on them and thinner glass for the front and rear screens. The idea was to get it below a 1 ton metric racing weight.
Oh, I see. Well, it looks absolutely gorgeous, I must say. I used to love the old Capris, even though I never owned one. Well, thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
We'll hopefully see you around.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers, sir.
Right, I've just linked up with Kevin again. He's going to run us through a few cars he's got over here. He's going to show us. Who have we got here? You're going to introduce us
Right,
to somebody.
this is Matt. This is Matt Woods, who's a good friend
Hello,
of mine.
Matt.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Alan.
Pleased to
Nice
meet you too.
finally
He's
in
a
the
fan
flesh.
of the Alan Howard YouTube channel, and I need to show you Matt's car because there's a story behind this one.
Right.
So if you follow us over here. So Matt's car,
Oh, the Cortina section.
we're in the Cortina section, but in the middle here is an Escort. And this is Matt's car. This is a Ford Escort Eclipse from 1990. It's a Mark IV Escort and it's the run-out model. And they only made it in 2 colours, red or blue. The reason that Matt and I are friends is because of this car, because my first car when I started driving was one of these in this exact colour.
Right.
So cars do bring people together,
definitely.
because if I hadn't have had that as my first car, I wouldn't have had the interest in this at the car show where I met Matt.
At the Embankment, the Peterborough Embankment show, which they unfortunately no longer do, thanks to Peterborough Council. Unless they're listening, they will might take note and put it back on, because it's brought a lot of people together, good for the economy and
Yeah.
for social, like-minded people.
Oh well, that's
Anyway,
So
it's only the
special
little,
edition 14-inch wheels, unique wheel trims to this model, tilt and slide, sunroof, electric front windows, XR3i rear spoiler. And it was quite interesting, a little geeky fact for you, when they built these in the factory, they didn't account for the XR3i spoiler and they put the normal tailgate struts on these cars. So they had to recall all of them and fit XR3i tailgate struts to them when they realised the error.
Unfortunately, mine has still got that in the booklet to say it's actually been reworked, because otherwise the boot struts would just collapse on you, which was a unfortunate.
well, it looks lovely restored or kept very well.
It's pretty much original. It's not the XR3i engine, it's the actual Valencia or the high compression swirl or Kent engine, as people Ford like-minded
Kent
engine.
engine,
No, if you want to have a look,
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
it's unique with the interior. We'll probably go to that.
Oh, I remember these engines very well.
Nice and easy. You just got to make sure you do. Good tip for these engines: always put some copper grease on the spark plugs so they don't seize up when you want to take them out. You've come across that, Alan.
I certainly
many other
have.
spark plugs. That's a good tip.
And you two gents will be able to tell me better than me, but am I right in saying there's no cam belt on this engine?
Correct. It's a nice chain driven.
Yeah.
Things were simpler back then.
They were. Less technological.
No covers and hours of work for you, Alan, before you start working on it to take off and get to what you want to do, like a little
No.
thermostat. Whereas, like the old A series engine, isn't it? It's that working on
Yep.
in that similar
Carburetor engine.
manual choke. Because when I tell people you've got to pull the choke out to start it, they're like, "Oh, what's the choke?"
Yeah, what's the
You're
choke? Is
either
that the
relying on it
cigarette
being
lighter?
automatic
Yeah.
choke, or
I pointed this out before. The cars of the past like this, if they come in for a service running like crap, there's things you could do to them. You could do your timing, you could do your carburetor adjustment, and by the time they've been serviced, you'd have them running better. These days it's just a case of changing a few filters. There's nothing to do.
So if I brought this up to you for a service, I know you do the tappets for us and the air filters, and you'd know the difference in coming out, definitely. Cause my granddad was like he had a Chrysler Avenger, and he knew how to get it serviced. Tappets and air filters, it just runs so much better. You know when it needed it. Yeah, it's time for service type job.
Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you very much.
It's nice to see a car like this, because once again, most of these cars have found their way to the scrapyard.
Yeah, how many are left on the road now, Matt?
Yeah, you can go on the website, how many left. I think it's just under 300 category now. So it's on the
not a
road,
lot.
sawned and actually being used. So yeah, it's in that. And the normal L's or GL gears.
Oh yeah, I remember all this well. See, I'm old enough to to have been around when
Makes
all
you
these
feel
cars
younger,
were new. Yeah. It's nostalgic though, it's
It
nice.
is. Well, that's why we enjoy events like this, isn't it? It's the nostalgia. And I need to show you this car here, Alan, as well.
Thank you very much.
So we've got here, I mean, we talk about restoring classic cars. I've got to tell you a story about this car.
Okay.
This Cortina here also belongs to some friends of mine. It's a 1979 Mark IV 2-litre gear in Jupiter Red. It was purchased brand new from TC Harrison in March 1979, and the owner's son still owns it to this day. So it's had one family ownership. This car has covered from new 14,000 miles since 1979. It's never had any paint work done, it's never been welded. It is literally how it came out of the factory. It's unrestored and it is absolutely incredible. I challenge anybody on YouTube to find a better Mark IV Cortina than this one.
Wow, that is something. So I take it it's been garaged all its life.
It's been garaged all its life. There is a story, it was taken off the road for a while when the owner's father passed away. It was recommissioned in 2009 and it's been doing shows ever since. And it actually tells you in the windscreen there, at the age of 30, it had only done 7,400 miles. So the owners now have 14,000 on the clock. Unbelievable car. And for me, again, nostalgic, because my dad had one of these when I was a boy. He had a Mark IV 2-litre GL Roman bronze with a tan vinyl roof. So it brings back all the memories of my dad. So that's why I like it so much. Still got the original number plates on, which haven't separated, and they still have PM cars, because at the time we were trading under the name Peterborough Motors and PM cars, and there's still the original set of plates. So this car is absolutely original, apart from things like the tyres, of course, which have been changed for safety reasons, but it is as it came out of the factory, built in Dagenham. Unbelievable.
I have to say though, it looks absolutely brand spanking new. I've heard that them front, well I mean these are pretty prone to rust anyway, but to keep one sort of
Yes.
like in this kind of condition for all these years, that's a feat in itself.
I think what has helped, it did have a rust treatment protection from new. It was ordered with that. I think the receipt for it is in the window actually somewhere. Had Z-Bar rust proofing, and it's certainly done its job. And I've also got a question for anybody on YouTube.
Okay.
The front valance on the Mark IV was always a solid piece of metal. We've got a Mark V just down the line, which we'll look at in a sec, which has got some vents cut into it. But I've got a question that's been unanswered. We've seen a couple of Mark IVs with the vented front valance. Now, we don't know why that is. Was it that the Mark IV was reaching the end of production and they just put some Mark V valances on the front, or is there another reason? So if anyone knows, I'd love to get the answer to that, really. It's just one of those mysteries.
Somebody will know. That's the thing of YouTube, there's a lot of people out there who know an awful lot of stuff.
A lot of knowledge.
Yep.
So talking about the Mark V, we've got a Mark III here.
No, that was
This
my-
is very, very rare. This is a two-door GXL. So anybody watched Life on Mars with Gene Hunt? This was similar to the car they used in that TV series. It's a 1971 fern green with a black vinyl roof. And I believe the owner told me there's only about 4 or 5 of these 2 doors left on the road.
This was the car I used to own back in the day. I was the Mark III Cortina guy.
You were?
I had about 3 of them.
Did you really?
A gold one, orange one and a blue one.
Wow. And they were all 4 doors. Do you know what spec they were, Alan? They weren't GXLs, no?
No, it's more like XL.
XL.
Well, the basic model, but there again I sort of like done them up myself anyway.
So here's a question for you. Did you have the round headlights or did you have the rectangular headlights?
I had the round headlights in my K-Reg one, whatever year, 67, whatever year that was. No,
Hey,
it's
would
like
have been
71.
71. 71, same as this one.
Well, the 1975, that was the rectangle headlights.
Yeah.
But I took them out and I changed them for a pair of twin Mazda headlights
Wow.
and modified the grille. It looked pretty Americanised then. But yeah, my Cortina was all done up in blue. It was blue with purple pearl. It was the whole bodywork was stripped down. It was all done properly, new body panels and everything. Put in a proper oven at Marshall's and painted in that purple pearl paintwork.
Wow.
And it was absolutely immaculate. Unfortunately, about 18 months later, the rust got to it.
Yeah.
So it was time to say goodbye. But it was a joy to drive back then. But you could, when you were driving a car like this, it was fun. You knew you were driving a car. You could go to the seaside in something like this, and it was a day out. And even if you've got the breakdowns, you all added to it.
Yeah. Part of the fun. Right, we were talking about nostalgia. I felt quite emotional when I saw this car arrive this morning. This is a I think this is an 83, but essentially an 82, last of the line, Ford Cortina Mark V 2-litre gear in Titan blue. And why I felt emotional, my dad had this exact car in this colour when I was a boy growing up. Sadly, my dad's no longer with us, but when I saw it today, I thought he's looking down on me and he's enjoying the show. But there's the front valance I was talking about, Alan. So if you look at the Mark V valance, that's got the vents in it. And I've only seen a couple of Mark IVs with that on. So that's my question to you two, if anybody knows why certain Mark IVs had those front valances.
Okay, well I'm sure somebody will be able to answer that question for you.
But again, this was purchased brand new from TC Harrison. It's had one owner. He used this as his daily drive till 2008, which is quite astonishing, because how often do you see a Cortina as somebody's daily drive these days?
Not anymore, unless you're very lucky. There you go, 2-litre gear Cortina. The last of the Cortinas. They were getting actually quite civilised at this stage.
This is Alan from YouTube.
Hello there. Alan. We're looking at your car.
Tell us about it, because I believe there's a story. Am I right in saying it's not actually a 1600E?
It's supposed to be a GT, but I can't find any GT bits on it. But it's 55 years old. Various owners, people have played with it. It looks nice. If you want an original car, that's not it. But if you want a nice looking car, then that ticks all the boxes.
It's certainly a head turner. How many years have you had it?
About 18, I think. Yeah.
Well, I've had my Vito van about that long.
Sorry?
No, but it's lovely, absolutely beautiful.
How many did Crayford make, Terry? Cortina Mark II convertibles?
There's, they made something like 400 of them, round about that sort of figure. And there are, I think it's 130 left, something like that. 2 versions. I did a cabriolet and a convertible. This one is the convertible version with the side windows.
So rarer than rocking horse shit then?
Yes.
Any kind of value you'd put on it?
Whatever someone would give me for it. How do you value them? I don't know.
Well, it's like you take the Capri's thing. They've gone up in price over the years.
Yeah.
It's like people will pay whatever they can get him for, really.
Yeah, same with anything, isn't it? It's what someone will pay.
It must be very nice to own a car like that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Especially on a day like this.
Yeah.
Not so good when it's wet.
Yeah, at least you picked the right weather for it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
there's a little trophy that's in this Cortina. The owner doesn't really know what it's for. So we're just wondering if anybody out there recognises this. And it says P&D, MC and CC Standard Tyre Trial 1935. Best performance, Jenkins. So if anybody knows what this is for, I'm sure there's one of you out there who must do.
Roger, you missed that. Best in show, Mark 1 1100. Okay, there you go.
While they're announcing the different categories and giving out their prizes, oh flipping heck, all popular. Now this is going back way before my time. Oh, wow. Look at that. I'd drive it. Now that looks nice.
Well, of course, what you're looking at there, Alan, is a Focus RS. So I guess it's at this point in the proceedings we ought to say hello, Monica, because I believe that's the car that she one day wants to own.
Yep, Monica, if you were here, the owner might let you drive it.
Now this is interesting. This is an Escort. I'm guessing it's an RS 2000 4x4, and it's pre-facelift with the little oval grille there. And this colour, it looks green, but I believe it's called Cayman Blue. So this is from the mid-90s. More blue than green. We've just had an expert tell us. There we go. Cayman Blue. Cayman Blue.
I do remember the colour.
Tourmaland, isn't it? Tourmaland?
There was a Tourmaland green, which was a deeper green, but that was Cayman Blue, which was very popular actually on the Mark 1 Mondeo. There was a lot of Mark 1 Mondeos in Cayman Blue.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So as we move along, this is the Mark II Focus RS, which was launched in 2009. So we've just had a look at the later, most recent RS.
This looks an absolute beast.
Oh yeah, you alright?
Yeah, not too bad.
This yours?
It is indeed, yeah.
Do you want to tell us a bit about it?
Oh, we'd love to hear.
Mark II Focus RS, it's Mount Tune MR375. So it's got the front Club Sport brakes, full turbo back exhaust, Mount Tune intercooler, Mount Tune inlet plenum, Mount Tune air filter, roll
I've got
bar.
to ask, do you want to show us under the bonnet?
Yeah.
We'll have a look.
Off the bonnet.
Thank you.
So it's pretty much got the whole catalogue.
So as if the RS wasn't purposeful enough, we had a Mount Tune upgrade on some of the models, and this one, as you can see from the cover there, is a Mount Tune.
Oh wow.
It has pretty much everything that you can buy for it, to be honest. It actually came from Mount Tune headquarters.
Did it really?
Friday.
Wow. So how long have you owned it?
About 4 years?
4 years. Wow. Fantastic.
Oh, look at them seats.
Standard seats they are.
They still look nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Sony stereo.
Yeah. Standard again. Most of the interior is standard. The only thing really different on the back is the exhaust and the badges really.
Is that a custom exhaust you've had made, or?
Oh no, that's a Mount Tune one as well.
Oh right.
Yeah, the whole car has got everything Mount Tune.
Wow, what a lovely car. That's the Focus to own, isn't it?
I believe this is the Mount Tune one as well.
This is a Mount Tune as well?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, got a badge on the front there.
I don't know which one it is. I think it's FDM 375.
So this is the later model that was launched in 2016, I believe it was. I think that's Performance Blue, if I remember rightly, which was a lovely colour. And this one's actually got the optional sunroof, which is not something you see a lot of these days.
That's true, with air conditioning in most of these cars, you don't often see sunroofs anymore. I do like the paintwork. Is that standard paintwork?
That is, that's standard paint, yeah. That was the colour to have on the Focus RS, that generation. Stunning colour, and as you can see on a sunny day like today, that is absolutely popping.
It is, it's bloody glittering,
Yeah.
glistening.
When they first came in, when we first took delivery of our first one from Ford, actually, it's a silly thing to say, but the first thing I did was took a close-up just of the paintwork because it was epic.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
And this is something unusual. This is a Fiesta which has been finished in the same sort of colour. I don't think this is the metallic, but it's been finished. This wasn't a standard colour, I don't believe. Although that is a 21 plate, so could be, but I'm not aware, unless it was a special model. That's what you'll find with me, I'm afraid. I can tell you anything about classics, but ask me about the modern ones, I can't remember. My mind goes back, but only so far. And then we've got an Orion. What an underrated Ford an Orion is. You don't see many Orions. It's sort of the poor relation to the Escort. Escort with a boot, I believe one of the comments was on your live stream the other night. But pretty impressive. It looks like it's non-standard under the bonnet though, that's for sure.
I've not seen one in so long now.
Well, the red bumper inserts would indicate it was a gear injection, or maybe just dressed up. They did a special edition of the Orion called the 1600E, which harked back to the Cortina Mark II days, and they were actually stripped out and trimmed by Tipford. This one's got the Escort XR3 wheels on it from 1990. The last XR3s had these wheels on as standard.
You having a good day, guys? Noticing your hat. Is this your friend?
This is Alan from U2.
Hi, Alan.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Alan, this
Pleased
is
to meet you
Rachel.
too.
But we're doing the other side.
Now, I have to be honest, Alan's crediting me with organising this. As I said, I'm just one of many people that have organised it.
Pulled people in.
Rachel has done a lot of work on this event.
It's not just me.
Oh well, thank you very much, because you make it a fantastic day for all these people.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't have wished for a better day. It's so good.
At least we've got the sun.
Got the sun, got the people, got the cars. What more do you want?
A drink. No, it's absolutely fantastic. Loving it.
Bless you. Right, I'll look out for your stuff anyway.
Take care, Rachel. Good to see you.
See you, and you.
Oh, look at this.
Whoa, very nice. Take care, no worries.
What have we got here?
So we've got a Mark 1 Cortina with a Z-Tech engine. So that's a Z-Tech conversion. So old meets new.
Wow.
Draw your attention over here, Alan. This is something that blew me away today. This is a, I believe it's a 1969 Mark II Lotus Cortina, and the gentleman has owned it since 1969, and he's still got it today. Same owner. I do like the Mark II Cortina Lotus, it's very nice. So the Mark I Lotus Cortina was built by Lotus in the Lotus factory at Cheshunt. But there were quality issues, they weren't quite up to what Ford expectations, and they had a lot of warranty claims, etc. So when it came to the Mark II Lotus Cortina, Ford actually built this themselves at Dagenham. So it was called the Cortina Lotus. They later rebadged it as the Cortina Twin Cam. I still love the white with the green stripe. I think it really sets it off. It was available in a lot of different colours.
That is really nice. It's amazing how someone buys a car and keeps it their entire lifetime.
And it's surprising, you think about it, but there's a lot of people here today that have actually done that. It's surprising how many people do keep their cars. Now this pickup here, this is something else. It's a Model A hot rod pickup, owned by the same gentleman that owns Blue Pop we looked at a minute ago. And he's built this from the ground up, pretty much. Yeah, we've got the Mark 1 Lotus Cortina, we've got an Escort.
This here, I believe, is where we've got a few American models. If I can honestly say I don't know much about them. Ford F-150.
It's too small, yeah.
Yeah, but it's tall, it's deeper.
But Mummy might be able to get this when you want.
I do like that. That is cool. And I absolutely love this colour. I don't know what car it is.
Might be a Fairlane or Galaxy. Galaxy perhaps.
It's all debadged.
Oh, it's a Falcon. It's got it on the dashboard. It's a Ford Falcon, so I stand corrected. Apologies.
Bench seats. Wow. You have a lot of fun in some of these cars if we're allowed to drive them.
Definitely. Shall we sweep past the Ford GT, which Ford Motor Company have brought along today? One of their press fleet. This is something else.
This is probably the most expensive car here.
Yeah, I would say so. Don't ask me how much it's worth. So I don't think we need to look much further than Fiesta Mark 1 XR2.
Yeah, I know, I remember this well. I've been round here, I'm going to go round again. I took my driving test in one of these.
Did you?
Yeah.
What, an XR2?
Not an XR2, but the car. No, I don't think my driving instructor would have been very good of a car like this, but yeah, this car does bring back memories. Very nice example, though.
Right, if we go this way, Alan, we have an Escort Mark 1 RS 2000. Now this has been fully restored. Belongs to a gentleman called Keith, who's just round the corner. There's Keith and Jane. He can tell you more about it than I can, but it's absolutely stunning.
What a gorgeous Escort.
So Alan, this is Keith who owns this Escort.
Hello, how are you doing?
Alright,
Nice to meet you. Could you tell us a little bit about your lovely car? How long you had it?
I've had it 15 years.
15?
It was a really wreck, really. Should have been in the skip. And I've done a little bit of work on it myself, the welding and all that.
Right.
But a guy from Peterborough Motors, who was in town, he was in their body shop. I found him and he helped me to restore it to what it is today. And obviously he knew everything about the cars because he was in the body shop, so
Oh right,
you know, all the bits and
you had
pieces.
plenty of help doing it.
I bet he was the main, well, nobody else, just him. Yeah.
It looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, everything's original apart from the gearbox. Got a 4-speed box in there, so it's 4. But I've got the 4-speed box as well. So
Yeah, how much money do you reckon you spent over the years on this?
it was a lucky find. The bloke next door, my daughter, was going to do it up, and we went and said, "What are you doing with your car?" He said, "I've got to get divorced." So we said, "How much?" And son gave him £2,000 cash, and we took it away. But I just think we spent a fair bit of money on it. I don't know how much, but not too bad really. I think if I sold it, I'd get double what I spent on it.
I should think you will. I guess it doesn't come out much.
Not that much. No. Any shows, mainly not on a bad day. You know, it's a nice day.
Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much.
That's all right.
Lovely car. Can we have a go in it?
They said a lot of reminders. They said 13 owners. By the way.
Blimey. It doesn't look it. It looks like a one owner.
Well, it was 13 owners before it was done.
No, that is
There's a lot of people want it.
I bet there is. That's certainly a head turner. Thank you very much.
All right. Cheers.
Oh, lovely.
So this is a Mark 1 pre-facelift Lotus Cortina. You notice on the corner here, you've got the separate indicators down the bottom. The facelift, they extended the grille along to the side, so that's how you can identify a pre-facelift. So this is a fully restored Mark 1 Lotus Cortina. The observant of you will notice it says console on the bonnet because the early ones were known as console Cortina.
What a fabulous car. So some upholstery in this car is like mint. It's like brand spanking new. In fact, the car just looks like it's come off the...
It looks like it's rolled off the line at Cheshire, doesn't it? But what I love about this one in particular is the wheels are original. I love the steel wheels with the chrome hubcaps, which is how they were built. A lot of them had later, you can't remember if they were BBS wheels, someone will correct me. They had the sort of alloy racing wheels put on them, but those I reckon. I just love the simplicity of them. And then talking about nut and bolt restoration, we've got a Ford Sierra Cosworth, which is a car I remember very well. Massive news in 1986 when Ford launched this. And this is Moonstone Blue, and this is a full nut and bolt restoration. Williams. Grab him. Lee, you got a sec?
I remember these well. I actually had to do a head gasket in one of these.
This is Lee who owns
Hello,
the Sierra.
how are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about your lovely car?
It got rebuilt by Paul Linford. But,
Okay.
yeah, it got rebuilt 2-3 years ago by him.
Right.
Yeah, nut and bolt restoration.
How long have you owned it?
6 years.
6 years, blimey. How much have you spent on it?
Probably about 41, 42. Yeah, that's in buying it as well.
It's in lovely shape though.
Yeah, I've only done 1,200 miles on it. That's what I've done.
Oh, that's actually fantastic. You don't find them any more like that?
No, unfortunately.
I don't think there's many left really. Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant.
Sits in the garage and comes out days like this.
I think most of them do now.
Yeah,
It's all the road slope anyway, you don't want to get bloody crap in your car now. Especially on cars like this.
it's as clean underneath as it is on top as well. Underneath.
I bet. Yeah, I remember the days of Sierra very well. We only had one that was a Cosworth.
Yeah.
All the others were like the basic models. But these were nuts.
I've not gave it any stick yet. I'm still a little bit frightened of it a little bit.
There's a place in Peterborough, I don't know if they're still going, they used to do a lot of the tuning on these.
Harvey Gibbs.
Oh, that's it,
Yeah.
Harvey, yeah. And I had to go there and get some bits and pieces, and it's like 4 little studs or nuts that go on your turbo, like 50 quid. That's going back years, about 15 years ago. The guy, I've said this, but the guy was telling me, when you're setting the timing up, you've got to set them up just right, because if you get them wrong, you can trash your engine.
Yeah. I'm pleased with it, the way it's turned out.
Cool. Oh, beautiful car.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Now we've got something insane. If we look to the left, this is a Ford RS200. So these were made for Group B rallying, which was a class of rallying that didn't last very long. So it was kind of short-lived, but for homologation purposes, they had to make so many road-going examples. So I believe these were launched on a B plate. This one's a C. Very rare to see one today. And this one's decked out with the Ford Motorsport colours.
Well, after a bit, I've never actually seen one.
If we have a look, as we walk around it, if we have a look in the engine bay, as you can see, the whole rear end lifts up, because this is really a road-going rally car. Fancy working on one of these, Alan?
It looks an absolute nightmare. I don't know so much really. At least if you, I take it all this cover comes off, it's back in and lifts off, and then you can get to the engine properly.
Yes, you could.
So I'm sure they designed these rally cars to be sort of like repaired.
Yes, well they would have taken the tumble a few times. It's quite interesting as well. We've got a Kia badge on it, which is really unusual. But yeah, obviously had something to do with it. I don't know the full story. Someone will know exactly. But if you have just a film inside, you've got to respect the owner. We're not allowed to sit in it or anything. They are just immense. I did have the opportunity to sit in one once, and that's the closest I've ever got to an RS200. And we did actually have one. TC Harrison had one on their stand at the East of England show back in the 80s. But we don't see many of these now. You may remember outside I was talking about the Escort Cabriolet. This is a Mark IV Escort Cabriolet, and as we can see from the side, this was when Ford did rebadge it as an XR3i Cabriolet. The Mark III was just called 1.6i Cabriolet, but I think that they really kind of thought we'll capitalise on the XR3 badge because it did become iconic very quickly. So Mark IV is an XR3i. This one's diamond white, Recaro trim, lovely. As you can see from the plate, this is a H, so this is a 1990, so this is very much towards the end of Mark IV production. So Mark V was launched in autumn of 1990.
You know, we used to see these all the time, and now it's very rare you'll see one. It's amazing how the years have gone by so fast. And all these cars that you see every single day have just disappeared. It's actually really novel to come here today and see all these.
And I think Alan's going to be very pleased with this first one.
Oh yeah. So the Mark III Cortina got best plastic car?
Believe so. Best standard car. Got trophies there.
Oh, there. Best standard car, Mark III Cortina, GXL. So this one is absolutely beautiful. I love the colour. Pinto engine, Weber carburettor. Love it.
And then we move on to best modified, and modified is right because Ford never made a Ford Fiesta Mark II pickup, but somebody has.
I was looking at this and wondering what the hell is it? I see. I can see the Fiesta at the front.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting how they've done it because the tailgate had that little notch on it, so they've made a really good job of that. And we've got twin exhausts coming through the bumper.
Well, the owner of this car certainly got creative. Oh, lovely.
Z-Tech engine as well.
I bet that goes like stink.
So that is pretty much epitomises the modification. That is an absolute peach, isn't it? Then we come to overall best in show.
Once again, this car looks like it's just come off the production line. Wow, it's absolutely spotless.
I think it's safe to say that the Recaro seats are not period. They're obviously a later addition, but they look very nice.
Oh yeah.
Revolution wheels. And this colour blue really grows on you. I've had a look at the Focus RS in a very similar blue, and it just does suit these cars.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, there's the three winners, guys. There you go. It looks like someone's been having a bit of a burnout on the ground as well. Brilliant. I think a lot of them have, a lot of people are leaving now.
Yeah, I think we've got some people leaving. Just need to have a look at an Escort along here, which is another one of my favourites. I believe it's about a 92 Escort RS 2000, so it's a Mark V Escort, which wasn't particularly popular at the time, but I think now they're getting a real following. So we're going past the Ultimate Green Mark II Focus RS, which is probably my favourite colour in that particular model.
Yeah, that's fine.
So this is the Escort I was telling you about. So this is an RS 2000 Mark V, 1992. And this is a stunning car. We've still got the original Rally Sport mirror hanger, which would have been in the showroom at the time.
Wow. even the wheels on this car look absolutely perfect. They suit it.
And then we've got to just look behind us. This has just been pointed out to me. How could I walk past this? Shame on me. Escort RS Cosworth. Come on, knows a bit about this. Matt's back with us. Matt, tell us about this Escort.
Just wait for Mark to come back, he will fill you in. My brother-in-law's good friend Mark, he owns this. Takes it out to the car shows which we understand. Keeps it all concours and he still uses it. Drove it here today, so I was going to say some people do trailer them, but cars still do all
And of course,
elbow grease, keeping it clean.
the signature feature on this, which you've got to film, Alan, is of course the rear wing. And actually, interestingly enough, how times change and fashions change, in later years you could actually order this with the delete aero option. So you could order it with that spoiler deleted if you didn't want the twin spoiler on it.
And also to add, if anybody knew, I think Wheeler Dealers,
they did one with the third wing on Wheeler Dealers, yeah. And Stead made one.
I'm noticing this mirror on the ground.
So you can look underneath, yeah.
6 weeks, I should say. 8 weeks.
I'm not sure if I'm seeing much on this, but
stand here, Alan, you'll get it.
So the engine's away, be rebuilt. So I'll just put it away.
They've positioned a mirror on the ground so we can see underneath the car.
Yeah.
So that's got one lovely exhaust pipe on it. Hello.
Hello there.
So you're the owner of this fantastic Escort.
I am indeed, thank you very much, yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about it, how long you had it?
Basically, I've had it 18 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've had it quite a while. It doesn't come out very often, just for shows, mainly all the RS Owners Club shows.
4-wheel drive?
Yep, 4-wheel drive.
I bet it blooming handles well.
It does handle well, yeah. It's totally standard, apart from stainless steel exhaust and a few silicone hoses, but other than that, it's totally original.
And what kind of speed would you expect to get out of a car like this?
Depends how fast you want to drive it, really. The thing is with the Cosworth, they're so tunable. My friend's car there next to mine is 510 horsepower, so that's on another level compared to a standard one. Right. So I think top speed officially is 155, something like that.
Brilliant. Have you spent much money on it?
No, not really, because it's just servicing. That's really been about it, to be honest. You know, just keeping it just well serviced once a year. Yeah, so
I noticed the exhaust. Is that standard or is it?
No, it's stainless steel Magnex exhaust, straight through system. So that's the only thing, apart from the silicone hoses, that are not standard on it. So just stainless steel all the way through.
I see. Fantastic. Well, it's certainly a beautiful motor car.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for sort of explaining it to us.
You're very welcome.
It's not every day we see these anymore.
No, it's not. No, not at all. And it's been nice to have the day on here to bring it out, and especially with the weather's been good for us as well. So
yeah,
we've been lucky.
Well, thank you very much. That's brilliant.
You're welcome. Thank you
Cheers.
very much. Thank you.
A Mark IV Mondeo.
It doesn't look like a Steve's taxi though, Alan. I think it's a bit more purposeful.
So, what's a 2.5 turbo? Oh my God! This is
Duratec.
This is the engine I have never ever seen in one of these cars. The Volvo engine. Tell me this is the Volvo engine.
I believe so. Duratec 1.5, yes.
This is a 5-cylinder engine.
Yeah, that's right. I believe so. I could be totally wrong, so I'll stand corrected if I'm telling you the wrong thing.
No, I'm pretty sure. But this is like as rare as rocking horse shit.
So people probably think, why have we got a Mondeo in the show? But it just shows you there's so many things that are unusual, and this is definitely one of them.
Oh, it's certainly an upmarket one.
The 2.5 Volvo engine was used in the Focus ST. That's where it first appeared, around 2005. This is Mondeo Titanium X. So that's a 58, so it's either 2008 or 2009.
Yeah.
But you're the better man to tell me about the engine, and I'm going to tell you the wrong thing, so I'll keep quiet.
No, it's certainly an engine I've never seen in a Mondeo, but I know they fitted them. It's very, very rare. If you've got one of these, apparently they go like absolute stink. Very quick, but very thirsty on fuel.
And again, must point it out because we don't see them on modern cars. This has got the sunroof.
Yes, indeed.
And one of these was actually used in Casino Royale, the James Bond film, Daniel Craig's first film.
Oh yeah.
Ford actually, the car used in that film was actually a pre-production model in tonic blue, and that had a sunroof, and it had all the Titanium X dress-up kit. If you look at the film, at the car, sorry, in Casino Royale, I don't think you could actually buy that spec because it was hand-built for the film before Mondeo commenced production, and it was just purely to get the publicity out there on the screen. Because Ford, of course, have a long history of supplying cars to film and television, and they've always been sort of leaders in that respect.
Yeah. That engine is the reason why that car's here today.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think last but not least, we've got a Focus RS here. That's got the same glitter in the paint.
Yep, that's the same blue. No sunroof in this one.
And this one's for sale?
That's for sale. That was part exchange this week. It's awaiting preparation.
But they need the lube, so if you're selling it as a job lot. That's another process.
Note the Brembo brake calipers finished it as well.
Oh yeah. So if you've got plenty of pennies, you can own yourself a Ford RS. Okay, that's it folks. I want to say thank you so much, Kevin, for showing us around,
No
explaining all these cars to me.
You're welcome. Great to see you.
Yep, you've taken me down memory lane.
That's what it's all about. As I said from the top, a lot of this is about nostalgia. We all love looking at these cars. It's either my dad used to have one, I had one, or it's the car I wanted but couldn't afford, or whatever. So it's been great looking around. We've had a fantastic turnout today. So thank you to everyone who's brought their car along to this event. And the weather's been great, so we couldn't have asked for a better day. So thank you everybody.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic day. So much to see, and in fact we didn't even get to see it all. There was a point where they were all revving the cars up and I missed it. But maybe next time, on the next show. But yeah, thanks again, Kevin.
Thank you, Alan. Lovely, thank you very much.
And we'll see you all on YouTube. So until the next time.
Am I allowed to say it?
Yeah. You can say it.
I can say it? No, you've got to say it.
I won't. You say it.
Okay, everyone, till next time. See ya.